Hey guys, Chris here. So today we're gonna get into the S's. Yeah, let's get right into it. So up first we have Sampa the Great, The Return. This is an Australian based rapper. Yeah, and she's just super good. And then this is Santana's Abraxas. Unless you don't pronounce it like that, which, who knows. I got this at an antique store for, a couple dollars or whatever. I didn't even realize this is the Santana with a Black Magic Woman when I bought it. I actually got it purely based on a old Alchemist line, always buy an album that has a naked chick on the cover, Then we got See You Next Tuesday. See You Next Tuesday were just one of the first bands, one of the first, heavy bands that I got into. It's on this, clear green gold sort of splatter. They were on the Sounds of the Underground compilation album, I believe, they were on some compilation album that I got. Maybe it was Headbangers Ball or something. Hey, then up next we have Set Your Goals, Mutiny. If you've never listened to Set Your Goals, you have to listen to this album. It's one of the best albums probably ever made. One of my favorite albums of all time. I think it's just on black vinyl, so no need to show you that. And then Set Your Goals after they left their old shitty label and joined Epitaph. This is such a great album. This Will Be the Death of Us is the name of this one. Such a great album, really influential when I was in high school, listened to it all of the time. Yet again, another high school band. We got some Silverstein. Dead Reflections is the name of this one. I gotta show you on this side. It comes with this little insert so you could have it be tied or untied, cut ties, And then I believe it's also on, it's on half clear, half burgundy. Very cool. Love Silverstein, but whatever. Single Mothers. This is Negative Qualities, sorry. One of my favorite, I know I say that I had to look at it to remember what it's called, but Single Mothers are one of my favorite bands. I remember getting to see them on this album's tour with my buddy Kyle. It was a $5 show at this antique store. And it was pretty wild. It was a rough show, a lot of moshing, But then we got Single Mother's Meltdown. This is a tour copy or whatever. I got it from the website. I actually didn't see them. I've only seen them that one time, unfortunately. But they're still one of my favorite bands. Very consistent, sort of a picture disc on that side. Just regular white and blue on this side. Yeah, really good. If you just aggressive, hard punk, Single Mothers got you covered. They really just do that and then do that super well. This one's yet again also a blue-white. And then this is Our Pleasure, which is actually the softest stuff. So if you actually wanted to listen to them, maybe less aggressive, Our Pleasure is what you should go for. But then they came back with Through a Wall, which is just a straight up, just super heavy banger. Then we got Sleep, Dope Smoker, How Could You Go Wrong? I love smoking weed, what a great song. Or it is just one song, but what a great album to throw on. This is a foil one, it's just on black vinyl, but this is such a trippy little album. Then of course, got Clarity. Unfortunately, the seal's broken. I've listened to it, but Yeah, love Sleep. You know, this has probably harder to see, but it has like kind of a image on this side. Then we got Sleep's Leagues Beneath, Third Man. This was actually just recently pressed with the Clarity, I believe, is like a package if you guys ever wanted to try to snag a copy for yourself. I don't know if it has all of the etching on it still, but I know that they sell these together now. Worth it, worth picking up. If you're a Sleep fan, you know, which I have yet to meet someone that isn't, you know. Then we got Sleigh Bells. What is this? Reigns of Terror or something, I believe is the name of this album. It's their second album. Really good. You know, this sort of like their, in my opinion, their last good album. Which was kind of unfortunate because I love the sound. It's just on black vinyl, but you know, like trees burning, camo, sort of like pep rally rock. You know. Really good though, really good. Up next, Slipknot, self-titled. You know, this is actually like, this was like a limited edition thing that came with like a t-shirt, and so like the vinyl itself was like that thick, and I cut it down because I just wanted to be able to put it in my bookcase. It's on this nice clear green. You know, Slipknot kind of controlled my musical taste for about, like, I would say about 3 years. Pretty much all I listened to was Slipknot's discography, with like Korn sprinkled in, you know. Definitely a huge influence on me when I was a kid and I was getting into metal bands. I definitely based a lot of my vocals off of Corey Taylor. You know, just loved Slipknot. Iowa. This is unfortunately a bootleg version of Iowa because it was actually only ever pressed on picture disc, as I've discovered, and the picture discs were limited and go for about $500, you know, $300 to $500 on Discogs. But this bootleg is really nice. You know, like those gray vinyl still has the Slipknot like 9-sided nonogram or whatever, you know. And then I gotta skip Subliminal Verses also yet again. It was pressed, but it's super expensive because it was a very limited pressing. But then we have All Hope Is Gone, which in my opinion was their last good album, also the last album that they did as the original 9. And, you know, this album sort of broke up the band, but I remember when I was a kid and, like, this was their MySpace cover, I remember losing my mind, you know, because I was just like, whoa, they changed their masks so much, and, like, this is a really, really dope album. And pretty much, like, you know, not many bands do it, but I would say Slipknot's first 4 albums are great, you know. Pretty untouchable. The rest of it, not that great, but, you know, can't win them all. Then we have Slow Walker. Yes is the name of this album. Slow Walker are a local Milwaukee band. I used to work with someone who was dating the drummer in this band, and then I also used to work with the bassist in this band, so, you know, went and saw them, picked up the album. Pretty good. Sort of like a stoner rock, garage rock, you know, like a 3-piece sort of deal. If you're into it, you know, check them out. Then we got Sons of Kemet. Sons of Kemet are sort of like the counterpart to The Comet Is Coming, which you would have heard me discuss in, you know, the C episode. But this is the much more traditional jazz sort of feel. Really, really great. I love this album so much. Your Queen is a Reptile. Shabaka Hutchings is the dude that sort of writes all of this stuff, and they actually have a new album coming out soon. There's a couple singles of it out now that I would recommend listening to. It's really good. Then a little bit of newer grindcore here. The Denim Diaper Daddies, you know, Steak Sauce Mustache. You know, this is a newer band that gave me the same feel of that, like, MySpace grind, you know, that I loved back in the day of, like, Dr. Acula and, like, Arsonist and, you know, maybe, like, even early I Wrestled a Bear Once, you know. And, I mean, you can tell they're, like, kind of Tim and Eric fans, obviously. But then we got Vince Staples, Summertime '06. This is just the first piece. This was actually released as, like, a double LP. And they were sold separately as well. So I have the first half, which has, in my opinion, a lot of, like, the better songs, you know, so... yeah, it is what it is. I'll probably pick up the second half at some point, but, you know, I'm not dying to get it. And then Vince Staples FM, you know, Vince Staples featuring Kenny Beats with Big Boy, you know, Big Boy's Radio, Throne Without It. And it's so good. It's so good. Such a good album. If you haven't listened to it, you know, you're really missing out. It's super short. I would definitely recommend it. It's on that Crypt Blue. Always with the Vince Staples, you know, it's looking like Dookie. You know, I don't know if you listen to Green Day ever. Obviously, a little bit of inspiration for that album cover. Got a little bit of the Strawberry Girls, French Ghetto. Up next, we got The Strokes. I honestly don't listen to this album very much. This was yet again an album that I got from a buddy of mine's collection, but very fitting. You know, it's one of the just one of those albums that everybody has. You know. Then we got Sturgill Simpson. What is this? A Sailor's Guide to Earth. Really great. Oh, sorry, I'm looking at it instead of showing it to you. Really great country album. You know, it's, I'm just going to leave it at that. It's a really great country album. Check it out if you're into country. But be sure to listen to it from start to finish. It's a full story, you know. Then we got that, that pure cutting grass, that bluegrass. This is Sturgill Simpson. This is a recent release. He actually just came out with Volume 2, if I remember right. But it's sort of him redoing some of his songs as bluegrass songs instead of just straight country songs. And then I believe there is also some covers on there as well. But then we have St. Vincent. This is Marry Me. Yeah. And then we have St. Vincent Actor. And, you know, this was back when St. Vincent was still flexing her guitar work a lot more. I feel like she kind of strays away from it a little bit, but her guitar work is so nasty. She's such a shredder, you know. And then kind of same vein a little bit. Succumb. I believe this album is just called Succumb as well. It's just, it's kind of like Dead in the Dirt. They're just thrashy. I believe this is live recorded. It sounds like they just put a mic in the middle of the room and everyone's just playing as loud as they can, and like the vocalist is just screaming, trying to make sure that their voice can be heard over the rest of the instruments. It's so brutal. Then we have Such Gold, Misadventures. This was actually one of the first vinyls that I ever bought, you know, because I love Such Gold. I loved this album specifically. I think it's just so nasty. The playing on here, the way that the vocals are, like at the time I was a huge pop punk fan, and these guys were really bringing a lot more of hardcore and the elements of hardcore that I loved to the pop punk sound. That was just like, just so refreshing at the time. Speaking of refreshing, and then we have The Cleansing by Suicide Silence. This is, you know, I remember when I first heard Suicide Silence, I was legitimately not a huge fan because it was a little too brutal for me at the time, you know. I grew to love them, especially the song on here that is based, or the song that this is actually from, The Price of Beauty, was the song that ended up getting me to become a fan, you know. And then, of course, they blew up, you know, became one of the biggest bands with No Time to Bleed, with Wake Up. You know, Wake Up is such a great song. One of my early vines, if you remember Vine, it was actually me waking up to the song Wake Up, you know, blood red. It's translucent, I don't know if you can really tell, but really great. Obviously, R.I.P. Mitch Lucker, one of the best. I really believe that Suicide Silence probably should have stopped then, but you know, that's just me. After that, we got The Sufferers, I believe, Everything Here. This is sort of like an R&B group that I was sort of turned on to while working at the record store, and just really dope. Like, some of this stuff is just super sad, and I love it. You know, it's on this like really fun like teal vinyl. Sounds great. I would recommend it if you want sort of like a Leon Bridges sort of sound, you know, really, really good. And then, this is sort of a weird set of vinyl, but this is Kenji Heino with Sumac. So Kenji is sort of a guitarist from Japan, does a lot of like noise, real shredder, and then Sumac, I believe, are like a two-piece American band. But they come together and just make just the most shreddy noise around. It's just on black vinyl, but yeah, it's one of the weirdest setups of vinyl that I have because it the sleeve kind of goes through the top, which is kind of different. Keeping it in Japan here, we got Sunny Day Service with Popcorn Ballads. Sunny Day Service are just one of my favorite J-pop bands. They're just so catchy, and just like the songs that they rap on, they find these like fun pockets. They're kind of like the Beastie Boys almost. And then we got another Sunny Day Service with The City. This is probably their best work, I would say. I actually had picked up Popcorn Ballads before The City purely because it was easier to find at first, but The City is dope. And then we have Super Organism. This was another band that I had discovered sort of at the record store while I worked there. We had this CD as sort of like one of our CDs that we can play in the store while we work, just on black vinyl. And it's just really, really good. It's really fun, like pop music. You know, just super fun. Like, I don't know, it's kind of hard to describe, but check it out. Really, really, really catchy. Then we have Swain. This was the band Howl. You know, you can even see it. It's tattooed on the dude's finger. Was their first name, and then they kind of changed to being the band Swain. And so this is their first album while they were Howl. And the EP Heavy Dancing, which if you watch my 7-inch video, is one of my favorite 7-inches that I have. Heavy Dancing is so good. It was the first time that I had ever heard a band do grunge with hardcore and put them together so seamlessly. And so Howl is sort of like a hardcore, you know, like kind of like a hardcore garage rock sort of feel. You know, it's like really, really noisy and just like a lot of emotion. And then Heavy Dancing is just like the Foo Fighters or like Nirvana, but with like a hardcore feel to it. It's really, really, really dope. And so then this is sort of like a remastered of both of them put together on wax, and it's really, really great, and I would totally recommend checking out the band Swain. And they kind of abandoned their heavy sound after this, but yeah, then we have The Sword, Age of Winters. If you like The Sword, you're very familiar with this. If you played Guitar Hero, the song Freya is on here. The Sword are dope. And then Sylvanesso, the Sylvanesso album, the first one, self-titled, I believe. Yeah, you know, she's from Wisconsin, if I remember right. The woman that sings in Sylvanesso, she has some sort of Wisconsin connection. But she's also on Partisan Records, which Idols are on, which I thought it was super crazy. So I picked this up when I picked up the second Idols album. And then System of a Down, baby. I believe this is a bootleg or something. I don't know. The sleeve quality is not that great, but you know, it's System of a Down. You know, what more do you need? There's been a lot of Serge Tankian interviews going around right now. You just talked with Rick Rubin, the other day. Really, really cool. Like I didn't know, you know, because I was a kid when 9/11 happened, you know, so I didn't understand that Toxicity. This came out the same week that 9/11 happened, and like all the controversy of their lyrical content and everything surrounding it with the events and how this got taken off the radio and everything. It's really cool. It's a really, really amazing deep dive, and something that my friends and I have always said is, you know, System of a Down are just like a socially accepted grindcore band. Let's close it out here with SZA's Control. If you if you don't fuck with SZA, you know, like you're fucking up for sure. Like SZA's one of the best pop artists out there, R&B artists out there. You know, Clear Green, so good. Yeah, so hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Remember to, you know, like and subscribe, all that bullshit or whatever, you know. But be sure to continue to keep up with what's going on in politics and try to vote in your local elections while they happen. Let's remember Black Lives Matter, lives of Indigenous people matter, Asian Pacific Islanders and lives matter, and trans lives matter. You know, like what's up with all of this? What's up with all of this mass hate and everything? I really don't understand it. It's like just do what you can to stop the situation and make sure that someone understands that they can't be racist. But yeah, so I'll see you guys next time, and you know, hopefully it doesn't take forever to come out with another video again. All right, see you guys.